I'm really horrible at that, reading the notes while we're on here. So we are live. I showed it real live. So guys, we are live to LinkedIn. Don't know how many of our LinkedIn folks have pinged in yet, but welcome, welcome, welcome. I think we had about 120 people this morning saying that they were going to join us for the webinar. So that's amazing. And if you guys don't, if you didn't get a chance to join us, you can go back and look at it. But I am Joyce Johnson, author, speaker, sales champion, coach, and founder of Why Sales Network. Happy New Year. We are also on Facebook, you guys, and we're on YouTube. If you want to go to your YouTube as well, I had to make sure my phone was on silent just really fast. But it's been a while. I feel like it's been a long time since we've been together for our monthly webinar, and it hasn't really been that long. But that just means that I normally don't take time off in December, because I feel like December, I have closed some of the best deals of my life and built some of the best relationships of my life, but I was exhausted. And so I'm just going to be honest. I don't know about you guys. I was done. And my body told me I was done. My mind told me I was done. And so I actually took time off for Christmas and for New Year's. I know if you guys are following my social, it looks like I was rock starring it out, but I really wasn't. I was getting a lot of rest, and you just happened to see me when I was out to dinner or something like that. So I recommend, if you haven't taken some time off, to treat yourself to that, because we don't want to experience that burnout. But again, welcome to our monthly webinar. I have two amazing gentlemen here with us today. Again, want to say hi to our Facebook friends, because they don't pop up on here like our other folks do. And if you have something that you want to say, you can go ahead and put it in the chat. I see we have Lydia Sugarman. Hey, Lydia, she already said she's here and ready to go. Thank you. And I have two amazing guys here. I really wanted to help everyone kick off their year with some really great tools to use in sales and in your business. You know, as I say all the time, we have to inspect what we expect, right? And so I wanted to find you guys some tools to be able to, help you along with that. So I found two guys. I have the two Michaels today, and I am going to allow them to introduce themselves, but I have Michael Ferguson, I have Michael Rager. I mean, it's like Michael. And it was not planned. And when I realized that I had done that, two great looking Michaels on the platform in one night, I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to go with it, because what they have and what they're going to talk to us about today is needed. And I really want to make sure that we offer the best tools and the best information for you, our audience. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves to you guys, and then we'll get into the meat of the program. So I'm going to start with Michael R. Let's do that.
How you guys doing? My name's Michael Rager. I'm a business and strategy coach. I got a company called Teach Your Business to Fish. I use a lot of interesting fishing analogies to build your company. So I took my passion and put it into what I love to do, and brought the two of them together. And we're going to talk to you about profit acceleration tonight, and a cool software that we utilize to help our clients do that. And it helps me as a business coach close clients.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Ferguson. I'm a global sales leader at LinkedIn within LinkedIn Marketing Solutions. And what I'm going to be talking to you all about is a program that a lot of our reps utilize, called Sales Loft. It's helped them integrate multiple work streams seamlessly, also increase their productivity. So it's a great platform whenever you're trying to do things in Excel, in Outlook, in Salesforce, even in LinkedIn Sales Navigator. All these things can actually link to this one system, which is why it's really awesome and remarkable what can be accomplished.
Great. I'm happy to hear about both. I'm not privy to that one. I have walked through Michael, the one that he has, and I think is great. Of course, I'm a fan. I'm pro Sales Navigator also, but I think a lot of people think that we know Sales Navigator, where we really do or not, right? And so I'm happy to hear that you're going to talk about something else, another product and service that LinkedIn offer, because I'm definitely a fan of LinkedIn's. So before we get started with the serious stuff, guys, you may have seen a promo video that I put out there, and I was like, well, we're going to have this webinar on Wednesday, and we're going to talk to you guys about some amazing tools to help you. But I also want to give some travel tips. So I've been traveling. I spent Christmas in the Bahamas and New Year's in New York. and everyone was pinging me and like, you're traveling. Yeah, I guess entrepreneurs aren't supposed to travel. We're just supposed to work all the time. So I gave some tips about entrepreneurs really leveraging their buying points and things so that they can travel personally, right? So I gave some tips about how I use the same hotel brand most of the time. I try to, so I can get points for the same hotel brand, and I can get bonus points. They owe me 10,000 points right now. I'm going to call them tonight when we get off the phone. And also the same airline as much as possible, right? And then for entrepreneurs, there's credit card companies. Not that I want to encourage you to get credit cards, but there's credit card companies that if you put charges on your credit card, then pay it off at the end of the month, or however, you get really great bonus points that you can use towards hotels and airlines, cruises, and be able to take your family or yourself on vacation. So I think that that's a tip that I really wanted to be able to share so that people can take advantage of it. And so I want you guys to share another fun tip that they can utilize before we hop into the real serious stuff. Who wants to go first? All right, Michael first.
A fun tip about traveling? Or do you want us to try a fun tip about anything?
It can be something else, just something that they need as business owners.
Yeah, if we got mostly business owners, I'm going to say, get your team out of the office. If you're going to go do planning, if you're going to be doing stuff, get out of the office so you don't have office distractions. I think those things will go ahead and they'll sway your decision-making process as you're doing stuff. That's why, part of my business, I push retreats. I take my potential clients on fishing trips. I get them out of the office. People relax, put a couple cocktails in them, it all gets better, and they share a little bit more. So that would be my tip going into this year. If you own a business, you have a team, get them out of the office to talk.
Get them out of the office to talk. I agree with that because, I believe in feeding people, right? I think when you're feeding people and you're at breakfast, lunch, dinner, they, just kind of relax a little bit and they're, communicating more, and it just, it just creates for good synergy. Michael, what do you got?
Yeah, so to stick with the theme of tips for traveling, you talked about different rewards programs to benefiting from that. You talked about credit cards and some of the different perks that they have there. One of the things that actually helped me out, especially if we have a lot of entrepreneurs on here, I do know that with certain airlines, I would say that when you travel, there's certain flights where maybe it's not most optimal or they're not going to give you as many miles. One of the things that benefited from me, I do have like my go-to being United, but I also have a secondary program with Delta because my family takes a lot of trips to Hawaii. And so I would look at definitely putting most of your points through one, but where maybe the travel is not as optimal, having a secondary to fall back on has definitely helped me out. I even do it the same with my hotel stays. So our go-to is Hilton, but we also have Marriott. And when you kind of have two that are go-to, you can really double down on perks. And whenever you're taking personal family vacations, you can really maximize what you and your family are doing. I've had some amazing vacations, redeeming rewards because I've actually balanced two programs that really benefited me and my family.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, you're so right about that. You and we do the same hotel airline package. But I have Southwest as my backup because it's here in Houston and 15 minutes from my house. But I remember one year for my birthday, I stayed in Panama, went to Panama, and my entire stay was on points. If you had enough points for 4 nights, you got the 5th night free. And yeah, my entire stay and my flight was free. So for my birthday, I went to Panama. So it was great. Well, I'm going to go ahead and hop into the good stuff here. I'm going to have Michael Rager start off with the program that he has. And I've gone through this program. He showed me this program. I think is amazing. It's called Profit Accelerator. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that he'll be able to share. But I really want him to be able to talk to everyone about this program and how it can benefit you to maximize revenue in your business.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna try to get it up here and get it going. Entire screen, and I won't be able to see you guys anymore.
That's okay. We still see you.
You and see me.
Linda, was saying that she was in Hudson Valley. She took her trip. So I surprisingly, a lot of people traveled over the holiday.
So do you see the Profit Accelerator screen right now, Joyce?
I don't see it yet.
You don't see it yet. All right. I mean, maybe I clicked out of it too early.
Okay.
Oh, so select screen, entire screen. All right, we're gonna allow it, and
okay, I see it popping up over here. Okay, so
that should be it right now. You see it?
I see it. Here we go.
Yes. No.
Yes, we see it.
Hello.
Yep, we got it.
It muted me.
Okay, we got it. We see
I'm
you.
muted, and I don't know how to get on.
You're muted?
I got muted.
Huh.
You don't hear me, do you?
We can hear you.
We
hear you.
You do hear me?
We hear you.
It's not allowing me. Okay.
We hear
you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me go back because it says I'm muted. So.
No, you weren't muted.
Let's talk a little bit about the Profit Acceleration software. So this is a tool I use. When Joyce and I talked about this, how do we go in and how do we help each other? And, how do I look at my sales process? And this is one of the things that I do is being able to go show that I've got a tool that can help my clients. So when we go in here, the Profit Accelerator software, this is my deep dive. We're going to go in and it looks at 40 areas of a company. And you can see here that we have a current revenue of the company. We went through and answered a series of questions and gave an expected increase in revenue of over $2.4 million based on the answers that the company gave. This allows me to show that I add value, and actually here with the ROI, I can go in and say, here, this is what coaching with me is going to bring. It's going to be an initial $2,000 investment. They're going to spend $2,000 a month. They show the annual investment is $26,000, and we're going to have a profit increase of over $240,000 or $62,000 a year. They have a revenue increase of $240,000. But what this software allows me to do is prioritize things that we need to work on with a client. So when we jump in and we ask a series of questions, we have the ability to go in and say, how long are these things going to take on? So we're going to say this takes 4 weeks. This takes 3 weeks. This takes, I'm hoping that's not you, Joyce, texting me saying you can't hear me.
That's me. I can hear you. I can't see the screen.
And, oh, shit. All right. I don't know what to do.
That's okay. Just talk about it.
You can hear us, so you heard me say, oh, shit.
Yes.
So
we see the screen.
I'm going to go back and you didn't see the screen at all. So there's the screen. Can you see it now, Joyce? You can text me yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, so we see the screen. So here we are. We're into the screen now. We're seeing what's important. And this is going to take 4 weeks. Policies and procedures is going to take us 8 weeks, 9 weeks. Set up joint ventures, alliances, so on and so forth. We're going to save everything. We're going to prioritize it. What the software does for me now is it gives me an implementation plan that I can do with my client. It's going to pop around here and do some things. And it's going to show me exactly what we're going to be working on and going through this. And when I go ahead to coach a client, it helps me and shows me exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to do a deep dive here. It gives me the questions. And so it allows me to give homework to the clients. Well, the one thing we do with there is we create a report, and here's the report. And we kind of walk our client through it when we're done and say, this is what we're going to do. And then when we get to the end, we ask a simple question. And the simple question is do you want our help or do you just want the report? And it really allows us to go ahead and move through and get there to close a client. So, the nice thing for me is, here in Houston, there's only one other person I know that has this software. In the US, there's probably about 300 people that have it across the whole country. So it's pretty proprietary for what I do. But, this is one of the things that really allows me as a coach to go ahead and close clients, because I think it's a tool that really, really moves us forward and, helps me answer my clients' questions. So I'm going to stop sharing. I hope that helps some. Am I back to you? Because I can't hear any of you guys.
You are back to us.
Yeah,
yes.
I don't hear you.
Oh, that's too bad. I have questions.
I see your lips moving.
I don't know why you can't hear us. This is horrible. But, hey, Here's our modern day technology that we're dealing with. I'm trying to see if I could. It shows that he's not muted, so I don't know why we can't hear him. But I think that again, I like the tool. I've Michael's gone through that tool with me before.
Yeah, I don't hear you, so I don't know what you said.
That's okay.
I don't know why. So I'm sorry.
Okay, so now I muted him for real. So, but yeah, he's gone through this tool with me before, and I thought it's a great tool, really, when people are trying to get a snapshot of their business. And so I wanted him to be able to share it with our audience and just talk, go through the talking points of the benefits of the tool and how they can utilize it to be able to forecast in their business. I think that forecasting, Michael, I've been in sales many years, you've been in sales many years. And we think that, we know that the whole forecasting piece is important. The forecasting piece is really important
I can't hear you right now.
We, because we have to forecast our business. You can't hit a target that doesn't exist, right? People say a lot of times you can't hit a moving target. You can't hit a target that doesn't exist. So if you don't have a target and you haven't done planning, then you're just out there. And so I think it's important for people to be able to understand their whole business forecast. A lot of times I ask people, what's your sales strategy? And there's no sales strategy. So, there you have it. So Michael dropped off. Hopefully he'll be back with us in a moment. So Michael, would you like to go ahead? I'll offer you to go ahead and introduce the program that you're going to share. Mm-hmm. And then we can do some Q&A around that as well.
Yeah. So to everyone on the line, so I'm going to be speaking to a lot of Sales Loft, just because I'm sure, as you all know, we have a lot of things that are proprietary and confidential, but I can share with you why we leverage Sales Loft, what the impact has been to productivity for individual contributors as well as sales leaders at LinkedIn, and why it's such a powerful and dynamic tool. So one of the platforms that we leverage quite often, it is called Sales Loft. And what Sales Loft is it's actually an all-in-one tool that can help simplify sales engagement. When you think about the day of the life of a seller, we're looking at Excel spreadsheets and Excel documents. We some companies use Gong or like Sendbloom. You have calls and things of that nature. You're managing your email. If you have a CRM platform like a Salesforce or LinkedIn Sales Navigator, there's all kinds of different work streams that we're working with every single day where we're either leveraging data, researching data, or sending important and critical information. Sales Loft is that tool that can allow you to encompass all these different things you're doing in your collective day in one platform. That's why it's so optimal. One of the things we significantly believe in at LinkedIn is research and data, right? So we actually have a researching firm, Forrester, that when they conducted research and when we had reps that were using Sales Loft, what we saw was a 2 times increase in response rate across all channels that they were working across. When we looked at prospecting related activity, this increased twofold. As far as opportunity conversion rates, this increased 20%, and our expected increase in customer renewal rate was 13%. So what are some...
Before you share your screen, you mentioned CRM, and that just kind of stuck with me. You mentioned it, but I find sometimes our audience, they'll send me an email or text or something later because they don't understand some of these acronyms that we use in corporate, especially people who are in that entrepreneur space, and if they're new to entrepreneurship. So can you explain just briefly what the CRM is?
Absolutely. So when we use the acronym CRM, we're talking about customer relationship management, and basically what that looks like. There's all different kinds of platforms out there, some that are much more popular, that are more mainstream. Salesforce is going to be one of them. There's also Microsoft Dynamics that some companies utilize. LinkedIn Sales Navigator is another prime example. But when you think about things such as forecasting, pipeline management, even planning and organizing as far as to a rep's day, who they're going to be meeting with, who they're going to be calling, this is where you populate all that information. And within multiple CRM platforms, there's different dashboards you can leverage to see how you're trending towards goals you may have. If you're supposed to complete a certain number of calls a day, if there are certain pipeline targets, meaning how much revenue you have generated in the book, you can keep track of all that information in a CRM platform.
Thank you. You gave very thorough explanation. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Proceed.
As far as key, what Sales Loft delivers on, there's kind of three key areas. First is elevating the customer experience. When we think about our reps and what their day-to-day is, knowledge is power, and having data at your fingertips is power. Reps can be much more impactful, and also can show up much more credible when they have a platform where all different elements that they use in their day-to-day is in a one-stop shop. If you think about greater visibility for a manager, as a manager and as a leader, when you have a platform like this, when you're inspecting what your direct reports are doing, again, the same data that's at their fingertips, it's also at your fingertips. So when you think about the coaching conversations that you'll be having, when you think about your report outs on your team, also to your boss or your leader, this is why this is such a great tool. And last but not least, it's really to increase sales rep productivity. We always hear, speed to revenue. How are we handling customer attrition? What are some of the attribution models that we're looking at when we are talking about what we're prospecting as far as new business? This is a great way to increase the productivity in all the different channels that you're tackling within your business. Last but not least, what I would say about Sales Loft is again, this is an all-encompass, all-in-one tool that allows you to have multiple programs immersed into one to really drive high impact and also drive credibility within your client base, and really preparing your direct reports to be able to be impactful and have meaningful conversations because they have data at the click of a button versus having to go in multiple areas and multiple avenues to find it all.
Awesome. I was intrigued to hear about this because we do hear about Sales Navigator a lot, right? And so it's always interesting to hear just about some of the other things that LinkedIn have, because I know you guys are a very robust organization. And sometimes, you hear more from, that one team or what's being sold to us through our email, through our LinkedIn mail, our link mail. What do we call that? We call it link mail.
Link mail.
I get a lot of link mail, right? I don't know about you guys. I get a lot of link mail. And I try to respond to everyone, personally. I try to, give everyone a response, but I get a lot of link mail. So, I can appreciate you sharing the information on this particular product. So if someone's interested in this particular product, how do they engage?
So as far as Sales Loft, Sales Loft is, they're proprietary company. So you can type in Sales Loft even into Google, okay, and you can actually sign your business up. It's just a platform that LinkedIn uses. It's not one that we've created, but it is one that we leverage across multiple lines of business.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. So everyone can Google them. I did put right here links. So go ahead, Michael. You have a question?
Do we get credit like LinkedIn likes to do for us using tools that they appreciate? So as being on there, does using Sales Loft, even though you don't sell it, help us?
Not honestly, Michael. From what I know, no. It's more so. I would say that old saying, "The proof's in the pudding." We've just seen, literally a massive uptick in streamlining processes and being more efficient. So I think the dividends you're really going to see firsthand, especially if you're using multiple programs, multiple processes to accomplish day-to-day tasks.
That's awesome. But yeah, I want like a LinkedIn rewards program. I want, right? We're talking about rewards programs right now. Take that back to leadership, Michael. I want like a LinkedIn rewards program. I think I should get that. Some years ago, I was sharing someone. I was very, very, very active on LinkedIn. And when they first started allowing people to write articles. And so I think I was one of the first people that's part of that pool of again working writing articles, and was writing about sales then and still writing about sales. But thank you for joining. I think that's a great product. Michael, I know you had some challenges trying to show your products. Were there any bullets that you just wanted to share with our audience?
Sure. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. We tried to.
Give them the name of it again. Yes.
Profit Acceleration. PAS, Profit Acceleration Software. You can only find it you can go to my website, or you can go to teachyourbusinesstofish.com. We use, when we started this talk, Joyce, the thing I looked at is, how is my sales process? How does things work? And one of the things that I teach a lot of business owners on, if you're in a business and you don't have a sales playbook, you need to put together a sales playbook. because you need to understand how you win, how you lose, what plays you're trying to do, when to use LinkedIn, when to use all these other things. Those are the important things I think you need to do. Like on my website, there's a thing called Business Health Check. Business Health Check it takes you to a jot form, and it just moves you through and asks you a series of questions. So I understand where you think you are as a customer. So it can help me sell to you because I know where your issues are. Because a lot of companies, as a business coach, they want help with marketing, marketing, marketing. And until we understand how our customer buys, marketing means nothing, because too many small business owners and entrepreneurs spend way too much money on marketing tactics that don't help their salespeople sell. And 95% of the time, in a small business entrepreneur, you're the salesperson closer as well, and you're not setting yourself up for success.
Then there's that. I recently engaged, and I put your website on there, Michael's website, Teach Your Business to Fish. I have it on the banner there now. Because I just I did a couple of things in my sales strategy. As you guys know, we launched the How to Win a Sales training program. And we did a soft launch last year. So we're going to do a really strong launch in the next month coming up, but already pre-selling the program. And so part of that sales strategy, one, of course, our SEO and getting that going. But the other was having an individual that set up appointments. And so they said, well, do you want us to close this for you? I was like, no, I'll close it. No, you can just set the appointment. I'll close it. But again, as an entrepreneur, you're closing a lot of your business and you're managing the CRM, which I'm a lot horrible at doing as an entrepreneur than I was. I was like the Salesforce superstar. I don't know what they call that, Michael. You were like, you got the extra points, when you were really great on Salesforce. Do you remember what that was? I don't remember, but I was like the superstar. And now I'm like, people are like, oh, I didn't get your newsletter. I'm like, really?
Yeah, with Salesforce, I think we just had it like being like Salesforce champions, and I know like in most districts or in most lines of business, there whoever kind of led the charge, they oftentimes got reward perks, or given awards for that too. But also, Joyce, I think to pivot too, I mean, to your point, Salesforce is a great CRM tool as well. It's extremely powerful. I've used Salesforce for many years. I've loved that tool as well. It's one of the many tools that we also use at LinkedIn. And again, it speaks to when you're talking about forecasting, pipelining, leads, anything of that nature, planning your comprehensive day. It's another way. I mean, the one thing that I would call out to, the audience is that when we look at all the different tools that are out there, you're going to find commonalities, and you're also going to find nuances that are going to be different with a lot of the platforms that are out there. I wouldn't say that there's like necessarily any one that's, greater than the other. I mean, even working for LinkedIn and loving LinkedIn Sales Navigator. I know, Joyce, you said, you've heard about it several times. I know you've promoted it on
YSN.
I mean, it's a great tool, but what I'd really focus on is what are the specific needs and what are you trying to accomplish within your business? And then you kind of have the gamut where you can look at what's all available and what's out there. There's multiple companies that even use more than one platform to help accomplish all their organizational goals and initiatives. So I think really be an owner of your business and understand what the gaps are, what you're trying to accomplish, and then you can kind of bring in a collective suite of what's going to work best for you.
Absolutely.
Michael, I think you're right there, but I think you got to make sure that you, as the owner of the business, you embrace it and you train on it constantly. You can't come in and train on this stuff one time and then go away. It needs to be ongoing. Because if you don't, your people don't buy into it and they go back to their old habits. And it's your job as the entrepreneur and the owner of the company to help change their habits to make profit for you.
It's all about setting that culture, right? And, I know right now I just moved over to the HubSpot program for CRM. And the reason for that is I'm going to be, doing the sales training for entrepreneurs. I'm going to train them on their need for it, right? And then show them through it. So I'm going to manage my funnel through there. and my forecasting and things. And then when I'm in the sales training, I'm going to show them why it's important to do that. So that just means I have to get, better at doing it. And so, but again, I promised you guys that we were going to share different tools with you guys and different tips and what have you. So I hope you're writing some of this down that the guys are mentioning, because, I think, like they said, there's no one fit for everyone. You have to find what best works for you and your company. Take the time to do the homework, for it, and really understand what you're hoping to get out of it. Sometimes programs are easier for us to use than other programs, right? Like, for instance, this program. I love that it goes live. But I think, I love that it actually sets the appointments on LinkedIn, and we can send out the LinkedIn invites, right? I've sent out 1,000 invites, I think, and about 120 people say, oh yeah, we're going to be there. But then it sort of changed the time zone. We had a couple of glitches with it. It changed the time zone. At one point, Jasmine looked at it, changed the day. We're like, well, how did that happen? But when we go to like a Zoom, which is another great, robust program that I use often, it doesn't always connect to the platforms. So, you in this virtual world, boy, I can't wait to get back in person. Godly. So
hey, we're in Texas. What do you mean get back in person? We've been back in person for a year.
We're in Texas. We are in person. I didn't want to say it out loud, Michael. You know how people talk about Texans and they say that we think we're our own country. So I didn't want to say it. But then, I guess they figured it out when I said I've traveled to the Bahamas, I've traveled to New York. They're like, to Texas to do what they want. But, figure out what works best for you. What's at ease for you. I have sold technology, but I am not the technical person at all. Okay. At all. My team uses Canva a lot to create flyers and presentations and videos and things of nature. And I will go in there sometimes, and before I even touch anything, my mind just shuts down, and I'm like, yeah, no, it's not going to happen. But
I think for entrepreneurs and startups, look at Fiverr. Fiverr is a great tool where you can go get stuff done really cheaply by really talented people. That I got a lady that in Indonesia that does all my graphics. Mm-hmm. And what would cost me $300 or $400 to do here in Texas cost me like $25 to $30. And high quality. Yeah, go find some really cool people there that can help you do some of this easy stuff, because I think that's where Joyce, depending on where you are in your business and moving up, is to when you need the tools, like Michael says, or still using simple tools. For a while I was still using Excel as my CRM. And just throwing people in and color coding them.
Spreadsheets now.
Yeah, we still do. And but it's as you move up, it's one of the hardest things I got to be as a coach is to tell people to quit spending money on stuff you don't need yet. And when it starts making sense, to go ahead and do it. And those are the things you really need to look at. Is you can, as a startup, spend money just to spend money. And it'll put you in a bad place really quick.
And that's true too, because I tell you, first of the year now, it was, I like to pay like annually for a lot of things. And so all of a sudden I'm looking at my bank account and it's like all this stuff going through. And I'm like, whoa. When did I buy that? What is that about? Am I even using, but really like my hosting. Okay, check. Internet security. I'm like, did I really have that? Do I have another internet security? Just a lot of different things. Audible.
Well, we just had to fight one. We had a CRM system. We were using two and we didn't know it. Mm-hmm. And we had hired a consultant to help us on something. We went into the one, and they sent us some email saying they couldn't charge our credit card. And we're like, good, we don't want to use it anyways. Well, then somehow they found a way to charge our credit card, and it was like $600. And their statement is once you do annual, we don't refund it. And wow. I had to kind of get nasty, and I had to go to Chase, my credit card company, and go fight with them a little bit. And they renewed it, but it took me 3 weeks to get it done. Wow. So you gotta watch some of those things. You don't want to get billed for $600, $700, $800 on multiple things that you're not going to use or you're not using.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's another reason I chose the HubSpot to be able to train entrepreneurs on, because they have a very robust free service, right? And I've used the paid services myself and things, and for me, I think that I use them because I have a sales background, right? And so I I've been trained and focused on being able to manage my business that way and on CRM systems. So for me, if you're another sales professional or someone you went into entrepreneurship, it may make sense for you because I need to see the whole big picture lined up there, right? I
Mhm.
want for I want for the tool to calculate the percentages and things for me. I don't want to have to get the calculator out, you
Yeah.
know. So I wanted the more robust system. So it made sense for me to pay for,
Mhm.
maybe $100 monthly fee. I think I was paying for something where for a new entrepreneur who is not that savvy in that spectrum, it wouldn't make sense.
I need to make sure that you're training a course. When you got people that are going to go use LinkedIn, Michael's course, train somebody on how to do it right and quit using automation to spam us and bot us and try to sell us on the very first thing. I don't. I bet you. I've unfriended or not taken stuff from so many people. When people try to sell me on the very first message through a bot, you lose
Yeah,
credibility so fast.
you do. You really do. You really do. Gotta build those relationships. Got to build
Mhm.
those relationships. Well, guys, thank you so much for participating in this. I wanted to also, go over the sales training that we're offering through Y Sales Network, and share what that's about with our audience as well. And before I do that, is there any additional tools that have come to mind that you think we might need to throw out there for the audience? And I'm gonna put them in.
I'll let
If
you
you
go
guys
first,
want,
Michael. You're the techie guy.
Yeah. The
is
only
it
other
the
thing
techie guy?
the only other thing I can really think of, I know oftentimes when I was a individual contributor and even like a frontline sales leader, we had a lot of conversion calculators. And Michael, that actually speaks to your point about the Excel document. We actually had them created in Excel. As you know, Excel has many formulas. But to me, that actually was something that really helped me out, especially whenever I was like managing my pipeline and I was forecasting to my boss during that time. So I think anytime if you can find anything that has a conversion calculator, they're not too difficult to make on your own as well.
Mhm.
To me, that's a great tool that's underutilized when you're talking about pipelining and forecast management, and also analyzing deal size that you're going after. So that would kind of be like the one that I'm pulling out of left field.
Yeah, the one I would recommend is, like, if you guys do check out my business health check, it's a very simple thing to show that you add value before you even get there.
Mhm.
It's a very simple, I've got two versions, one's in Excel and one's in jot form. And I've used the free version of jot form, so it says, it says jot form in the bottom. I don't care. I don't think anybody does, but it's very simple and it pre-qualifies your client before you set a meeting with them, and it
Right.
helps. It helps you do that. But you want to show that people need you before they even get to you, and especially if you're a smaller company and you're just starting out, I think it's a great way to establish yourself and make yourself a little bit different.
Great. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Like I said, I'm going to share my screen here and talk about our Y Sales Network sales training program for a minute. If you guys see my screen there, you see the amazing logo that we have for it. We're like super proud of that logo. When we figured that logo out, we're like, yes, that's it. That's it. Be surprised what goes into, a logo. But the sales training program, guys, I created the How to Win in Sales training program. I really just, with all my heart, I say this all the time, with all my heart, believe that sales is the best profession. I do. I think it's the one, and that profession that no matter what your background is, no matter what you studied in college, your skill set, that you can go and get a job in sales and work your butt off and earn $100,000 plus your first year. So a lot of people are afraid of sales because they don't realize that it's a process, right? They think that you have to be born with it. You have to be, and there's that too, because a lot of us, our first sales pitch was convincing our moms that we can go to the concert out of town with our friends, right? And we had it all together. We proposed her, we pitched her, we told her we gave her referrals on whose mom was said already that they can go, whose dad was going to pick us up, and all those things. And we didn't realize that we were actually selling. So what we teach on, and how to win in sales is the actual sales process. And so we have 6 individual courses that people can buy. And that's the prospecting, pitching, appointment setting, proposing, closing, and customer service. And I just want people to understand that if they really focus on the sales process, it could help them be successful as they're selling their business. We have a masterclass for entrepreneurs and small business owners to be able to help them create their sales strategy, help them with sales acumen. As I mentioned before, with Michael talking, a lot of entrepreneurs ask me when I'm on Clubhouse or something, what's a CRM? What was that you were talking about? So I've become very particular, intentful and explaining those things. But our masterclass, we bring entrepreneurs together and we talk to them about the sales process, creating their sales strategy, how to build long-term commitments, right? And really selling in that B2B space. I've sold many years in the B2B space, and I share with entrepreneurs, when you close a long-term deal in B2B, you're getting out of that widget and that everyday. I mean, you should be hustling every day, but you get out of that a little bit because you now know that you're going to have this recurring revenue coming into your business. And that immediately helps you increase the business value, because now when you go to the bank for a loan or whatever, you can show that you have this revenue that's committed to your business. So it does a lot of different things for your business. But what I realize is that, guys, entrepreneurs go into business because they have a hobby that they want to monetize. They have a problem they want to solve, or they just decided since many years they want to be an entrepreneur. There's marketing plans, social media plans, operations plans, and strategies, but they're rarely, when I talk to someone, they have a sales strategy. And everything in the global universe begins with a sell. So reach out to us at learn@YSales Network, or you can reach out to us. This is on the website. You can go to the website, go to our sales training lab, and it'll go to the courses and tell you all about them. We also have the masterclass for sales professionals. As small business owners, it's really hard. We have 1 or 2 or even 10 salespeople sometime to really invest in them selling, right? And so want to be able to offer sales training to those small business companies to, so I had one guy come to me and he said, hey, I got 5 friends who are entrepreneurs. Can we, we all have our salespeople, can we put together one big class? I'm like, absolutely, let's do it. Because really, I've sold tangible and non-tangible, and I really just feel like I can sell anything. I can help you with a sales strategy no matter what you're selling. I haven't missed yet. I mean, no one's bought me anything yet that I couldn't speak to. So I got a good track record. And so for those individuals needing training for their companies and their sales professionals, reach out to us about that as well. Again, we have individual one-off courses that you can go buy straight from our website. If you just feel you need to brush up on your prospecting, if you feel you need to brush up on your pitching, your appointment setting, whatever that is. And appointment setting is one that I've been pitching quite a bit lately because it's so important. A lot of times people get lost, or the sell gets expanded longer than it needs to, because sellers forget or just don't know or not trained to continue to set appointments, right? So when you're finishing up one appointment for fact finding or whatever, you need to set the next appointment. And when you finish that appointment and if you have some objections that you can overcome, then go ahead and set the next appointment, even if it's a call and not in person. Continue to set the appointment so you stay in front of the customer. When you're meeting with the customer, they understand, they're ready to have the conversation with you, right? They know what they're about to get on the phone and talk about. There's no surprises. Versus you trying to call them and say, hey, I found out that information for you. I have an answer. You don't know what they're in the middle of at the time when you call them. So I'm an advocate at just setting that next appointment. And so some great tips here on customer service and everything. You can go, if you just need to brush up on one thing or another, hey, go to our website and you'll be able to download that. Oh, and then that's just me. So I'm going to But again, go to ysalesnetwork/training. You can email us at ysalesnetwork, at learn@ysalesnetwork, and also at train@ysalesnetwork for more information and get training for yourself or your employees. So I think that's an amazing sales tool for 2022 to help you maximize your business. And so with that said, guys, I want to give you an opportunity to tell our audience how they can reach you. And or if that's an email, your social platform, or what have you. Michael Ferguson, go.
You're on mute.
You're on mute.
Thank you. Sorry. For me, I would say it's best just to leverage a LinkedIn platform. I would say, and I appreciate it, Joyce spelled my last name right. It is Fergason. My entire life, everyone's done Fer. Joyce is amazing because she's always gotten it right. So just make sure if you are searching me on LinkedIn's platform, just Michael and then Ferguson, Fergason. But definitely open to all connection requests in any way I can help with anyone.
Thank you. And Lydia, I see your note to me. I had to bend down to see it because I refuse to wear my glasses when I'm on screen. I know, but I see your note. Thank you. I certainly appreciate you. Michael.
Yeah, you can reach me at michael@teachyourbusinesstofish.com. In Clubhouse, we're in the Landing Big Whales. You can get on there. We do a training every Friday on 8 strategies to increase profit without spending a dime on marketing. We've got that going. You can catch us on LinkedIn. You can catch us on Facebook. Everything we got there, you can reach out. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. We'd love to, anybody would like to see the Profit Accelerator run through their business. I normally charge $197, but for Joyce's friends, I'll do it for free. It's an hour. So come on in and let us run you through. Let's run you through your business and see what we can really do. So I think it'll really help you uncover some areas that maybe you're not sure about.
Thank you for that. And you know what? And also, I'm so happy you mentioned the Landing Big Wells. That's an organization both Michael and I participate in. And, we're there on Clubhouse helping people, every day. And we also have a room on Friday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, and the Small Business Sales Challenges. And I host that room with some other Michael and some other folks. And we are there live helping business owners solve their problems. And one day we had a lot of fun because it was kind of win, lose, or draw, right? We wanted to really help them understand that every deal isn't the best deal for your company. I paused on purpose. I want you to have that aha moment, right? And sometimes, you need to walk away. But Landing Big Wells on Clubhouse, go follow us on Clubhouse. Follow myself and Michael. And Mike Ferguson, are you on Clubhouse?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Well, you should get on there and join us. We have a lot of fun in our room. We're going to have you as a guest.
Sounds good.
Yeah, but we have a lot of fun in our room and we give out a lot of really great information. We are the Landing Big Wells platform. We are really there helping individuals in our room. And we're taking the room off site as well. As Michael mentioned, you can contact us and follow us on Facebook here. But we have a lot of great, really strong entrepreneurs and business consultants and sales professionals that are, committed to helping people move their business forward. As Michael just said, if you're a friend of mine, he's going to waive that fee to give you that business snapshot. And you get a lot of that in our room. And also when you go to Y Sales Network, if you haven't followed us, you can go follow us, and we have a free ebook for you there. Because we're changing ebooks out this year every month, which is going to challenge me because I think I only have 6 ebooks and there's 12 months in a year. May just have to recycle. But we're going to be giving out ebooks to help you with your business. But, again, follow us. It's called Landing Big Wells. And we have a room on Clubhouse, and Michael and I there every Friday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And what time is the other room?
Mine's at 3 p.m.
And at 3 p.m. So he has a long day because he helps me out. Then he goes to the next room.
I start drinking in between the two. That's why it just makes it better,
Well, the great thing about Clubhouse, you can't see people, right?
You can't see us. You don't know what we're doing.
You can't see. It's you're just listening. It's almost like you're just listening to podcasts, but it's actually live conversation. and we're actually talking live and engaging with individuals live. So it's Michael, I recommend you go hop on there. Then you let me know how you like it.
Yeah,
Well,
I think you do great, Michael, because you're solving problems. And people are going to ask you questions. I'm
Yes.
looking for this. The whole thing is solving problems and helping people.
awesome.
Yeah, solving problems and helping people. And you guys can find me on all platforms at I am Joyce Johnson. I am Joyce Johnson. I'm Joyce Johnson on LinkedIn. I think it's Joyce J. I've been there so long. I actually have like Joyce J. But you can find me on LinkedIn as well. Please go and engage with me on LinkedIn. I love to be on LinkedIn. It's one of my favorite platforms. And then also follow us at Y Sales Network on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. So with that said, I hope that you have found we've said something today to help you with your business and in your pursuit of your professional and personal pursuit of happiness. I'm gonna this my theme for this year is using soft words. So I'm trying to find soft words to say. But in your pursuit of happiness, for your business, personal and professional. Again, I am Joyce Johnson, author, speaker, sales champion, coach, and founder of Y Sales Network. Thank you so much for joining us. If there's anything I can do to help you personally or professionally, I am a text or DM away. Make it a great year.